The Hierapolis city ruins, apart from the partially restored theater of Hierapolis, required some imagination, but the sense of history, as you walk through the ruined roads, is also palpable. The ruins are much quieter than the much more visited hot springs and terraces of Pamukale, but still well worth a visit, perhaps because of that. The city of Hierapolis in Anatolia, Turkey, was built close to the hot springs of Pamukale. Visitors have been coming to Hierapolis and Pamukale for centuries to take the healing waters. The Greco-Roman ruins here are interesting, but the Hierapolis theater is stunning and worth a visit in its own right. Most people visit Hierapolis on the joint Hierapolis-Pamukale ticket and within the same day. Pamukale is a natural landmark of the world, made from calcium carbonate deposits, which has existed for thousands of years. Romans used Pamukale as a spring spa center because the origin of the water is hot springs. Since when did Mother Nature need our help to preserve the earth, unless we have damaged it in the first place? Rumors of the demise of cotton Pamukale have existed for years. There are several ways to enter the visitor area that includes the Hierapolis ancient city and the Cotton Castle. In any case, you will be paying for access to both, the ruins and the travertine terraces. They are a package deal and will leave you 110 Turkish lira lighter. Since the 60s of the 1st century AD, Hierapolis has become a kind of resort town for aristocratic Roman families. There were huge Roman baths as a symbol of the high position of the great Roman Empire. In the late 300s of our era, the city was under the control of the Byzantine Empire. Emperor Constantine made this residence center of the region of Phrygia. 6 centuries later, the city fell into the power of the Turkish Sultan. Since Hierapolis was located between the ancient cities of Laodicea and Colossus, it constantly found itself on the border of the opposing lands and experienced repeated changes of power. In 1210, Hierapolis finally fell into the possession of the Turkish state. In 1354, the city was again almost entirely destroyed by a powerful Thracian earthquake. After that, the area remained in desolation until the end of the 19th century, when the first archaeological excavations began here. The theater boasts 45 rows of seats that could hold up to 15,000 spectators. The central seating area in the front was reserved for priests, special guests, and high-ranking officials. The one and only Cleopatra visited Hierapolis to enjoy the thermal waters. But she didn't bathe with the common folks. Nope. Cleopatra has her own pool in the interior of a temple dedicated to Apollo. The temple was destroyed following a massive earthquake. However, the historic and therapeutic bath still remains. Ancient pillars are still scattered at the bottom of the pool. While historically impressive, the antique pool is very touristy. You will probably find large tour groups soaking in the hot springs at any given time. It's worth experiencing if you can get there early, but it doesn't have a very historic feel in its current state. East to find if walking on a parallel path past the Travertine Cliffs, the main street and the Gate of Domitian showcase an impressive mix of ancient ruins. The gate with its 3 beautiful arches must have been a grand entrance during the Hierapolis glory years. Beyond the gate on the main street is the ancient city's necropolis. There are a huge number, over 1,200, of large and elaborately carved tombs. It's amazing to see how the ancient Romans sent the dead into the afterlife with such glorious tombs. Apollo was the most important god during the Hierapolis Greek period. And even though the temple isn't in the best shape, it is still worth a visit while exploring the ruins. Apollo's temple was constructed on top of a natural fault line. This was not a lapse in judgment by the designers, but rather a conscious decision to create the impression that the temple had access to the underworld. Keep reading about Devil's Gate to learn more. You won't find the crowds of Ephesus here at the Hierapolis ruins, unless of course, you limit your visit to the Pamukkale terraces. There aren't hordes of guides wanting to offer you services, and the postcard photo opportunities are fewer and farther between. When you do find them, however, they are spectacular. You also won't have to wait as long for a photo that is free of people.